Welcome to the Nothing But the Real show. Let me just start out by telling y'all this. Your boy messed up. I actually have been filming for the last 30 minutes, thinking that I was live. Whole time I was not live. So, yeah. Dang. A lot of content there. A lot of good content there. I'm a little disappointed by that, but I'm gonna try to run through the topics again real quick. I'm gonna try to not, be as lengthy. But I definitely messed that up. So go ahead and get a good laugh in there. But yeah. Finals game 1 is what we're gonna kick this show off with. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Yeah, players mess up, so bear with me. But I had a guest speaker on. He's in the chat right now. Shout out to my Brody, Ace. If you follow me, you probably follow him. If you don't, we'll go ahead. We'll get that tag out there so you can follow him. But yeah, I had my bro on as a guest and a phone call in, and we chopped it up about some topics. But what I'm gonna do, because I don't want y'all to miss that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop that video up and I'm gonna add it to the channel so y'all can still get that good fire content. But since I don't have them right now, I'm gonna just rapid fire try to get through some stuff that I did talk about for 30 minutes for no damn reason. But here we go. So first things first is finals game 1. Wow, what a game. I gave OKC all the credit in the world for this upcoming series. I thought that they were gonna make light work of Indiana. Didn't think it was gonna be close at all. Boy, was I wrong. I was wrong. Indiana, they look like the more together team for some reason. And I really expected that to come from OKC. But that's how Indiana looked tonight, right? Like, there were moments in the game where it looked like OKC was getting ready to pull away, right? But every time OKC got the lead to about 12, 13 points, pushing 15, almost 20, once they got there, it's like Indiana just had a response. They just had a response for everything. And that's the signs of a great team. Nothing was too big for them. They went out there and they made the plays that needed to be made, but it's something about these moments, right, with Halliburton. I think it's time that we, had a conversation about, is he a superstar or is he not? I know some other sports shows have covered it, and most people are saying that he's not a superstar. I still think that he is. But yeah, most people are saying that he's not a superstar. He was voted as the most overrated by his peers. But that particular bucket, that the players that voted, it wasn't a mass majority of the NBA. It was 20 players, I think they said. So when you look at all the players in the NBA, that's not even a big sample size, really. But that's, unfortunately for him, they put that out there this is what your peers think of you, when really that might not even be how everybody feels about it. So that was interesting for them to do that. But anyway, for me, I'm a moments guy, right? I'm a moments guy. And if you can show up in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, that's what superstars do, in my opinion. Chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what superstars do, in my opinion. Big players make big plays in big games. A shout out to my man Santana Moss for dropping that line back when he was with the Miami Hurricanes back in the G. But that's what I think. I always break it down like, does your game travel, right? Does your game travel, or are you just you good enough to be at your local Y? You good enough to be at your local gym or your home court advantage, stuff like that. But can you take your show on the road though? Can you be effective on the road? Can you, when the lights is its brightest, do you show up? And to me, in my opinion, that's what Halliburton is really doing right now. He's been doing it throughout the playoffs, so I don't think anybody's surprised. Like you're surprised at the outcome of this game, but you're not surprised that it was Halliburton that hit the shot, are you? I don't think y'all are out there. I don't think y'all are. I was just like, oh my God, he actually made that. But I'm not surprised at who it was because, like I said, this is what he's been doing. So, shout out to Halliburton. Shout out to What the Halley. You know what I'm saying? I think that is the dumbest song in the world, by the way. But it is catchy, though. But anyway, yeah, I like the way that the Pacers played. I like how they look for that next pass. You'll see me and Brody talking about that a little bit more on the clip that I upload, but that's what it looked like, right? Like they make the next pass, then they make the next pass, right? So they pass to get somebody open. They got a good look, but they pass up that look to get a better look. And when you're doing that, it tires you out. I think that's what's happening here. I think that's what happened. Like it tires you out because you're in scramble mode to get to the person that's wide open, right? Now, once they make that next extra pass, now everybody, including your help, now everybody's shifting. They made a pass for a good shot. Then they make another pass for a better shot. Now your whole defense is done for real. I watched that happen a few times tonight where the ball ends up in the hands of like TJ McConnell, the backup point guard coming off the bench. But Obi passed up a shot that he had. Halliburton passed up a little floater that he had. And then they hit TJ McConnell right there in the short corner for a little tiny jumper. Like, it's just that little stuff right there that's mentally draining and mentally exhausting for a team that, they hang their hat on defense, right? So they hang their hat on defense, but they're not seeming to get the stops that they want. And when they do get those stops that they want, Indiana actually played really good defense tonight. Indiana, I don't want to say they're as good of a defensive team as OKC because OKC has literally hung their hat on defense all year. But Indiana played some good defense this game. You got a lot of big moments from a lot of players tonight. Obi Toppin for sure, yeah. Obi Toppin was big time tonight. You're not expecting him to really hit threes like that, but he's been showing a lot throughout these playoffs too. He had a lot of good moments against the Knicks, his former team. So playing against the Knicks like he wanted it, right? Like he wanted that just because he used to play there. But he's been doing that throughout the playoffs. So shout out to the Pacers, man. Shout out to the Pacers. They proved me wrong already in one game because I just didn't see them being able to keep up. Excuse me, with OKC. So shout out to them. Shout out to Rick Carlisle. When you really break these two teams down, there's not too much that separates them. But one of the separators is OKC has a coach that's never won anything before. And correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think Caruso might be the only OKC player that has won a championship on that entire roster for OKC. I don't think anybody else has won anything of significance over there. But then you flip to the Pacers. I don't think none of their players have ever won a championship. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Rick Carlisle has. So the head honcho, he has been there before, done that, knows how to get his team ready. The moment's not too big for him. He's able to keep his guys calm. He knows what it feels like to even go through everything leading up to the finals, right? the media coverage that they have to do, the interviews, the sit downs, um, all that different stuff. He can prepare his team for because he's been through it. That means something, especially in professional sports. It means a lot when you can calm your team down and kind of direct them and let them know, hey, this is nothing. I've been here before. Follow my lead. And I think the way it looked tonight, you might have a shot of that factor coming out a little bit more, right? You might see OKC kind of panic a little bit when you have Indiana, who's going to be calm, cool, collected the whole time. So you have that as well, which could change the narrative of this series and change the outcome. I still would be shocked if Indiana won this series. I really would. I don't have them winning this series. But now that they've won game one, I was only giving them one game. But now that they've won game one, I might give them two, three. Like, could this go 6-7 games? Could this go 6-7 games? Me as a basketball fan, I would love for it to go 6-7 games. Seriously, this just gets me closer to football season. The longer they play, and I don't have to go through this terrible drought every year of when the NBA is done, there's no football. It's like the worst time ever, bro. Like, it literally is the worst time ever because there's nothing to watch. I still, like, I watch UFL just to watch more football, but that's getting ready to go in the playoffs, I think, so they're getting ready to be done soon here. But, yeah, I watch UFL or they got the 7-on-7 stuff that's going to be jumping off here. So try to supplement and watch, different stuff. But this time of the year sucks when when NBA goes off. So long story short, I would love for this to actually go 6 or 7 games. I just don't think it's going to happen. Real quick, y'all, I'm getting ready to transition into another topic here, but I did want to let my social media folks know that I'm live now because I messed up. Messed it up the first time. The NBDR show is live. All right. In case some of y'all can't read, that's nothing but the real. You know what I mean? Nothing but the real. That's how we coming. Pause. Um, so let's transition, right? Great game one. We'll chop it up a little bit more about that in the upcoming episodes. But let's transition into some football, some NFL. Hold it near and dear to my heart, right? So, mini camp is where we're at right now. Mini camp, mini camp, mini camp. Let's talk about A-Rod off the top, going to Pittsburgh. How many of y'all really think that that's a great move for them, right? Like, how many of y'all really think bringing in Aaron Rodgers is gonna sway them? Or how about this? I'll ask y'all this, and you can answer me in the chat. Steelers had not 10 wins last season. Steelers had 10 or 11 wins last season. What does Aaron Rodgers bring to that? Like, do y'all think that's a plus? Like, he gets them 2 more. Adding Aaron Rodgers gets you 2 more wins. Do y'all believe that? Or adding Aaron Rodgers may get you less. Maybe Russell Wilson. Maybe some of y'all think that Russell Wilson, played better than what Aaron Rodgers has been playing lately. Maybe y'all think Pittsburgh takes a step back after adding A-Rod. I kind of think A-Rod's a little bit better than Russell Wilson. I'm kind of off Russell Wilson. But, I mean, Russell hasn't played horribly. So, anyway, do y'all think that Aaron Rodgers coming on the Steelers, does that add plus or minus to the win column? Or do you think they just stay the same? It doesn't even matter. Like, they're going to have 10 wins, and it's going to be the same thing. They haven't won a playoff game in close to 20 years. Like, I think they're at 15 years right now. 15, 16 years, something like that. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers really changes that. I don't think he really changes that. He might, but I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh really messed up by letting Pickens go, because I thought that was the whole plan, right? Like, the whole plan was to have Pickens and DK and give whatever quarterback was going to be there a great situation, right? Like, you got two wideouts like DK and Pickens with whoever you got at running back. As long as your offensive line is somewhat good, you still got Fairmouth at tight end. Now you could have started to see, all right, the Steelers might actually be a problem. But they let Pickens walk. They traded Pickens. You don't know how well their offensive line is gonna look right now. They got a rookie running back, I believe, and I think they're still trying to get Warren back on the roster. Their fast little scat back that they have, who's actually very productive when he plays, and they win games when he plays. But I don't think he's under contract right now. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but Aaron Rodgers, I'm kind of overdue. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Like, I'm kind of overdue. His play hasn't warranted that kind of praise right now. You know what I mean? Like, following him around and making sure that we know Aaron Rodgers every move, every step of the way. Like, I don't think he's there anymore. I really don't. He's kind of just become a sideshow, and I think people are ready to be over. They're ready to move on from it. Aaron Rodgers' personality is not for everybody. Shit, my personality is not for everybody either. You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at that, but I just think that people are just done with him. He won 5 games last year. The year before that, he's coming off the Achilles. He had the Achilles injury. I just think he's on his way out. Very similar to the Brett Favre situation. I think him and Brett Favre have a lot of similarities when it comes to them both being Packer great quarterbacks. Both ended up on the Jets, ironically. And I feel like the league kind of had to tell Brett Favre, like, you're not good anymore. And I think that's what they're going to end up having to do with Aaron Rodgers. I could be wrong. Aaron Rodgers might just, because of his ego, he might just jump ahead of it and be like, nah, I'm gone. The league's not going to push me out, or I'm not going to try to come back and then I don't have no offers, because then it looks like the NFL pushed me out. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers is super calculated, so he might not let that happen. He might just walk, even though the league might feel like he can still play, right? That's probably how he would want to go out. But anyway, I don't really got Aaron Rodgers making too much of a difference on Pittsburgh. I'm kind of just glad that the story is over with. He's on a team. Okay, great. Let's move on and let's get closer to the regular season. But also with this mini camp talk, it's a couple things that I want to go ahead and get off my chest. Starting with Terry McLaurin and the contract situation that we have going on here with Washington, right? So I actually had to talk to my pops about this. Shout out to my pops. Because I am a team guy, right? Like, I'm a team guy at heart. And when I say that, I mean, I do want everybody in the building, right? Let's just start there. I do want everybody in the building. I love it for commodity, but I love it just to continue to build that brotherhood. And he's a leader. He's a leader on your team. I always want all the leaders to be in the building. But that's just because I personally would like him to be in the building doesn't mean that I'm tripping that he's not in the building. if that makes sense, right? Because I understand it. Some of y'all don't understand the fact that these veteran players, no one likes minicamp, bro. Veteran players don't like minicamp. They don't give a shit about going through a glorified walkthrough. They don't care about that kind of shit. They just want to get there when they're supposed to be there. Like, this is voluntary stuff, folks. Gotta remember that. All this stuff is voluntary. Now, in a situation with Terry, he would be there, even though it was voluntary or not. If he had the right contract, he would be there. And since I know that, that's the only part that kind of had me like, man, why are we dragging our feet on it? Why don't we just get it done? Because he wants to be in the building, even though it's voluntary. Like, you got new pieces, you got new receivers. That new receiver that we drafted from Virginia Tech in Lane, Jalen Lane, and he's going to be pretty good. But I'm sure he would love to have Terry in the building right now, even though he's locked in on his own job and focused on, him carving out a role for himself. But it's just better if you have the number one receiver in the building so you can just kind of watch, right? Kind of watch how he moves, how he takes care of his body, what his treatment regimens look like, all that kind of stuff. But, we do have Debo in the building. So we're not without leadership, or we're not without examples. I would say Debo's not a leader of this team right now. He just got here. He's not a leader right now in voluntary minicamp. He could turn into a leader, though. He could turn into a leader by training camp, preseason, week 1, 2, 3. Like, he could turn into one of our leaders, sure, but right now he's not. So I would just rather Terry be in the building. But again, folks, y'all got to understand they don't have to be there, number one. Number two, they said, veteran NFL players have said this is like a glorified walkthrough. And then when you start talking about, hey, man, you need to be in the building to get to know your teammates and stuff like that, right? Bro, I got all summer. I got the mandatory stuff. I got training camp. I'll get to know y'all then. That's I'm telling you, that's probably how they think about it. I'll get to know y'all then. It don't take the whole entire summer to get to know y'all. And some of them have, like, the trainers that they've been working with since they've been in the league. Players are very superstitious, right? Very superstitious. They don't want to break what they've been doing, especially if it's been working, right? If it hasn't been working, then you have to be a fool not to try to do something different, right? But if you're a productive veteran, you're a pro ball player, there's no benefit in their opinion to be in there right now. Like I said, all the other stuff, they could do that later. I can get to know you later. I can find out where to go get my smoothies. I can figure out where the cafeteria is at. I can figure out how to get into the stadium. I'll figure out, all of that stuff, logistics side of it. They'll figure all of that stuff out later. I'm almost sure that's how they feel about it. You look at somebody like a Laramie Tunsil, Pro Bowl left tackle, perennial Pro Bowl left tackle, one of the best left tackles in the league, by the way. He looking at this like, I don't need to be there. I'm just going to get my work in with my trainers and the people that have gotten me to this point, and I'm not going to break that. And I don't mind that. Same thing with Marshawn Lattimore. He's not here either, but he's taking care of himself. Our coaches had a press conference yesterday or the day before yesterday, and they said they're in contact with everybody. No one, even Terry, Tunsil, and Lattimore, they're in conversation with everybody who's not here. They know that they're not going to be there, and the lines of communication are wide open. So this is not a scenario where somebody's making a stir or it's about to be a big problem or something like that. That's not what's going on here. And a lot of times you get the media that they'll spin that whole thing around and just be like, oh, there's a problem. I saw it come through my phone today. Terry is frustrated at the contract negotiations or frustrated at the lack of talks about his contract. Bro, if you don't see a quote that came from Terry in quotation marks that said, "I'm fucking pissed off. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated." If you don't see that, don't believe that garbage. Don't believe that garbage. It's lion season right now. It's like there's deadlines to get these things done. So everybody that's involved in it, they understand the deadlines. They understand the timelines. They don't have to publicly tell you, "Hey, we don't have to get this done until such and such time. You can look for news to come out around then." What teams do that? Like they teams don't operate like that. They don't have to tell you nothing. And the outside noise is literally that. It's just outside noise. So all these reporters that want to put out clickbait out there, because that's what it is, it's clickbait just to get you to look at their story to tell you that Terry's frustrated with the lack of conversation. Bro, anybody that's going through any kind of negotiation, the human aspect of it is I'm trying to get what I want, you trying to get what you want. That doesn't mean that I'm frustrated. It just means we trying to work it out. We trying to work out the details to get this contract done. And if you've been watching sports long enough, if you've been paying attention long enough, then you understand, just like I understand, that there could be literally anything that prevents a contract from getting done right away, right? It could be literally how something is mentioned. Like it could be the verbiage. It could be the verbiage of something in the contract, and then Terry or whoever's like, "I don't like how that sounds." You know what I mean? Like it could be something like that, where it's just, at the end of the day, the team loves Terry, right? The team loves Terry. The front office, like the coaches and the players, the fans especially, like everybody loves Terry. So it has nothing to do with that. But the coaches, the fans, the players, the cafeteria people, the people around the building, they're not the ones in that room crunching the numbers and telling the GM Adam Peters, "All right, this is what's feasible and this not. This is the budget of what you said you wanted to spend in the wide receiver room. We can only give him X amount of dollars or it's going to exceed that." You know what I'm saying? So unless you want to be like the Bengals where you're paying a wide receiver room crazy money like that, but you know what that does? It hinders the rest of the team. It hinders the rest of the team. Now the Bengals are sitting there with a sorry defense, the best pass rusher on their team, and Trey Hendrickson, that is a 15 sack guy for like the last 3 years or something crazy, like super productive, super productive. The best player that they have on their defense that's at a premium position, that for obviously the premium position is edge rusher, rushing the quarterback. I mean, now you don't have enough to really pay him. You don't have enough to really pay him because you listen to Joe Burrow, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Joe Cool is that guy. But you listen to him and gave the people that he wanted the money to, which is both his receivers. All right. So now you kind of short. So what you tell Trey? Like, all right, well, Joe wanted them. He ain't want you. You can't do that. So again, like these contract negotiations is just that. It's just a negotiation. Hey, Brody, chill out. Chill out in the chat, bro. Chill out in the chat. It's not a dispute. It's a negotiation. That's all it is, folks. It's a negotiation. I tell you what I want. You tell me what you want. We meet somewhere in the middle. That's how these contracts get done. We meet somewhere in the middle. But again, it could be something as small as verbiage. It could be the difference in a couple $100,000. It could be the difference in a mil or two. It could be the difference of whether the contract is front loaded, back loaded. How I think a lot of it does come down to guaranteed money, right? Like everybody wants guaranteed money, so it could be something of like how many guarantees he's going to get, stuff like that. But I do know that when you hit that magic number of 30, when you hit that magic number of 30 in the NFL, it they just start to devalue you. They start to devalue you. And I'm not saying that that's what Washington is doing. I'm not saying that they're devaluing him. I'm saying at that number at 30 is usually where that conversation starts, right? Terry's production last year and the years before, but let's just go off of last year. Like Terry's production of breaking the franchise record with 13 touchdowns last season, another 1,000-yard season. He is one of 4 active wide receivers. One of, did you hear me, chat? You hear me? I said one of 4. One of 4. He is one of 4 wide receivers to have 1,000-yard seasons back to back to back to back to back with new court. He might be the one that's had different quarterbacks the whole time that are on that list. It's like him, Mike Evans, and somebody else. I think Justin Jefferson might be on there, but it's a short list is what I'm getting at of receivers that have had 1,000 yards consecutively back to back to back to back for about the first 4 or 5 years of their career, having 1,000 yards every time. There's only a couple receivers, and he's in that bucket. So you got that. You got the franchise record that he broke last year. Take care of him in Dallas. Hey, Chad, I'm about to end the stream off that right now. Just off him talking crazy like that. You'll never see Terry McLaurin in a motherfucking Dallas helmet. Are you crazy? That'll never happen. I don't even care if we don't get the deal done. He will never play for you. Ever play for you. Anyway, man, he just threw me off with that. Don't get to talking crazy in here. The deal's gonna get done, chump. And you hope that it don't. Y'all Cowboys fans, y'all hope that it don't. But don't get me started on that. Stop derailing me, brother. Stop derailing me. I'm talking about the contract situation right now. I'm not talking about America's team. All right? Cool out. So, the contract will get done. His production, what I was saying was his production says that he should be getting about 29.5 to about 30 million per season. If you look at the top wide receivers numbers, that's what his number is looking like he deserves, right around that 29, 30 per. It's not the top up there with Justin Jefferson and Chase, but it's not the bottom either. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Terry is right there. The problem is none of those guys that are making that kind of money, that 30 or 29 per, none of them are 30 years old. I don't think any of them are 30 years old. So, I think that could be what's holding this up. He obviously has a value. He has a dollar amount that he thinks is what he deserves, and I don't blame him. So, long story short, the deal will get done. If we get to training camp and the deal is not done, I'd be shocked. That's when y'all can come in the chat or call me or text me and stuff like that, DMing me. That's when you can DM me and be like, with the eye emojis or your the joint like this, where you just wondering how I'm feeling about it. Because then I'm gonna feel completely different. If he's not signed by training camp and ready to roll, then I'm gonna have panic mode will start to creep in for me, because that would kind of tell you that, okay, maybe he's not gonna be here for the long haul. But we'll get to that another time. Like, I'm not even about to try to foresee that. I'm gonna just go ahead and say Terry will be here. He's gonna retire a Commander, and he's gonna be at that new stadium when we go back to DC. I know you shook about that. I know the Cowboys fans are shook about that. They shook about us going back to RFK, shawty. They shook about that, because you know what was made famous when we was in RFK. We want Dallas. We want Dallas. And then we proceeded to whoop y'all ass. So, we getting back to it. And I think Terry deserves to be here when that new stadium gets here. He deserves to be here when we hold that trophy up, because it's coming. It's coming in the near future here. Might even be next season. Um, but we'll transition here to a little bit of Dallas talk. I actually did have this on my topic list. I know I'm kind of giving Ace here. I don't know. I'm kind of giving him a little too much time. Like I'm kind of giving his mob a little too many words. I don't really like talking about the cowboy. You know what I mean? It almost make you throw up saying cowboy. You know, but I did want to talk about Micah Parsons in particular, right? So I really don't want to talk about the Cowboys. You know, fuck the Cowboys, but I do want to talk about Micah because I think that Micah wants to be a commander. Yeah, I said it. You hear me, chat? Hello, this thing on? Y'all heard me? Y'all heard me? I do think that Micah wants to come back over here with DQ, and he wants to come over here and get back to being happy while he's playing football. Because the one thing he wants to do is win games, and the one thing he wants to do is put himself in position to go to a Super Bowl. And y'all ain't nowhere near that. So I do think that Michael Parsons is okay. How about this? If y'all stink this year, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. And y'all might as well just go ahead, you know, start burning your Parsons jerseys because you're gonna be in your feelings when he got a Commanders jersey on. Y'all are gonna be upset, bro. Some of y'all might legit cry. I really do believe that. Some of y'all might legit cry if Parsons has a Commanders jersey on. But I'm telling you, he spoke so highly of Dan Quinn all last season. Him and Trayvon Diggs, to be honest with you, they both was, you know, gassing. They both was you almost thought that they was on our roster last year. The way they was talking about DQ and Jaden Daniels and all of this stuff. Why they would? I'm telling you, they would love to come over here, especially Michael Parsons. He would love to come over here and be back with his guy DQ and get back to having fun playing the game. He wasn't having fun under no Mike McCarthy. He wasn't having no fun over there with Mike McCarthy. You know, what they say? They said going to practice in Dallas is like being in a zoo. You know, I think that was Dalton Schultz that left that comment before he rolled out and went to go play with the other team in Texas who might be better than y'all too, the Texans. When he went to the Texans, he left and he said that place was like a daggone zoo. Because you got people tapping on the glass and while they practicing, people just looking, you know, observing the zoo. That's weird. That's weird, bro. Y'all don't have nothing that's sacred around there. You know, everything got to be a show with Jerry, don't it? Everything got to be a show. Everything got to be an extravaganza. Come on, man. This is football. Sometimes these grown men just want to show up to a building, put their head down, and go to work, bro. They don't want to be looked at all the time by these random people that you giving stadium tours to. You know what I'm saying? You got people walking through the stadium because they on a stadium tour, and we get to see the players. Oh, wow, look at that. It's weird. It's weird. You at a zoo. Like, that's weird, bro. Your man D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence. I know you ain't gonna call him. I know you ain't gonna speak ill on him. I know you ain't gonna call him a hater. D-Law was there before Parsons got there. DeMarcus Lawrence was there at least helping y'all get some winning seasons for a minute. Before he got hurt, DeMarcus Lawrence was one of them, right? He left and said, ain't nobody winning nothing over there. Ain't nobody winning nothing over there. Now, a little bit might have been because Dallas didn't pay him the money that he wanted, right? Human nature. He probably got a little pissy about that. and had some words to say on his way out. But I think a mass majority of it is true though, when he says like, "Ain't nobody winning over there no time soon." And y'all same Dallas fans that are oh so optimistic, this be the same ones telling me we ain't gonna win shit unless Jerry die. We ain't gonna win nothing unless Jerry croak. Like that's where y'all at right now, bro. That's where y'all are at. Y'all are in a position where you literally need your owner to pass away in order for y'all to have some type of success. That's a scary place to be. Cause I don't see him dying no time soon. I don't see him selling that. He ain't never gonna sell the team. So that ain't gonna happen. I just don't. The Dallas makes too much money, and I'll give him credit for that. Jerry Jones is probably the best businessman from an ownership standpoint in the league. He's yeah. I'll go ahead and give him. He's the best owner in the league when it comes to marketing his team. He's the best at that. He knows what that looks like. He knows how to reel in them dollars. And he also knows how to keep y'all dumb fans on the hook, knowing your team ain't that good. Knowing y'all ain't that good. He somehow, some way still gets y'all to pay these hefty prices for tickets and go fill them seats with Dakota as your quarterback. Dakota as your quarterback who ain't done nothing besides win a couple regular season games. He ain't nothing but a glorified Tony Romo. Y'all know that? Y'all know that, right? He ain't nothing but a glorified Tony Romo. I don't even know who won more playoff games, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo. Does anybody know? Who won more playoff games, Dak Prescott or Tony Romo? I don't think it matters, to be honest with you. Because what my guy did in one season, your guy couldn't do in 10. That's right, I said it. That's right. Dak Prescott, 10 years, had some really good years, put up a lot of wins, right? 12-win seasons, maybe had a 13-win season in there. I think he was in the MVP talks. They thought he should win the MVP and blah, 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 blah. And they never sniffed. Ain't never sniffed an NFC championship game. Man, miss me with all that, man. Miss me with all that, man. And y'all know he ain't that good. That's the thing about y'all Cowboys fans, too. You know Dakota Prescott is not that guy. You know he ain't going to get you over the hump. So every time he's under center, during the regular season, you feel good about yourself. During the regular season, you feel good about yourself. But when them playoffs start, no. You don't love me, and I know that. That's how y'all be looking. That's how y'all be looking though. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't sniffing no NFC championship game, man. It's just not gonna happen. And now you got us, you got Philly. We the cream of the crop. All right? We the cream of the crop. Isn't it funny how tables have turned up in this joint. Tables have really turned on y'all. And I know deep down in your core, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to see what's going on right now. When y'all seen Jaden Daniels by like week 10, week 11 last year, y'all was like, damn, they got one. Because everybody else and their mama saw Jaden Daniels and said, oh, they got one. So I know y'all seen it too. Just might be in denial, but you seen it though. You seen it. Yeah, I seen that shit. You seen that shit? Yeah, I see. Young boy night. Yeah, I know. Hey, look, man. It's gonna be tough sledding for y'all. But I will say it's family business, right? I ain't gonna get too far ahead of myself. I haven't even said the word sweep. Okay. All right. I'm doing you a favor, Brody. I haven't even like disrespected y'all and said we was gonna sweep you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even say that. I just said y'all not gonna be nowhere close to doing nothing. Y'all, maybe you're a wild card team. Maybe. But you gotta think there's other NFC teams that y'all just not better than, especially them Packers. Y'all don't want to see them again. So like, you know, yeah, man, tough sledding there. And then I'll address this for the last time. I'm not gonna address this with you no more. I'm not gonna address this with you no more after this. All right, y'all beat us by the grace of God. Okay, y'all beat us by the grace of God. All right. Do you recall in this so-called game that y'all beat us with a backup quarterback? Jaden Daniels threw a touchdown with like 20 seconds left in the game. If I remember correctly, the announcer kind of sounded like this. And he finds Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin is off to the races. Oh my God, the miracle strikes in Washington again. That's exactly what happened. He throws another clutch touchdown in the last seconds of another game in the fourth quarter, which he was the best quarterback in the league in fourth quarter touchdowns and fourth quarter just clutch moments. He was the best quarterback in the league last year. But we had a missed extra point, bro, from a kicker that's not even on this roster anymore. We had a missed extra point from a kicker that's not on the roster, okay? So since we missed the kick, right, and it turns into 26-27, we had to kick an onside kick because we didn't have time. Kick the onside kick, your man runs it back. Your man picked up I believe that's what happened. He picked up the onside kick and he scored off the joint. I mean, that shit is fluky as hell, bro. Like, who wins off of an onside pickup? Like that, bro, that shit was luck buck. It was luck buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you beat it. Yeah, you beat us by 8. We scored and we should have tied the game, but since we missed the extra point, we were down, and then they scored off the kick. I mean, come on, bro. Like, no, matter of fact, that's the order. That's the order right there. The onside kick touchdown actually happened before Jaden Daniels threw the bomb to Terry. So the onside kick happened. Your man picked it up and scored. We got the ball back. Jaden throws a bomb. We score, miss the extra point, then we kick it off, and your man Turpin hits the spin cycle, and that's how we lost by 8. But come on, bro. How many people win games off kick returns? Like, y'all got lucky. Bro. And our defense wasn't that great last year. Like, you keep talking about backup quarterback. Our defense wasn't that great. Like, we were okay. Our team was fueled by 5. All right? Like, it's not about the defense. Who cares? Like, we weren't that good last year on defense. We had really no pass rush except Dante Fowler. Like, we Frankie Louvu, stuff like that, but like, we're a better defense than we were last year, and we're still not great by any stretch of the means. Like, on paper, we don't have a great defense right now, but we were a top half of the league in points allowed towards the end of the season, and we were the number 5 passing defense in the league. So we couldn't, stop the run. We couldn't stop the run, but we could stop the pass a little bit, though. Mikey Sanders still. Lattimore ended up coming in, even though he was banged up last year Okay, I try to tell people that too. He was banged up last year before we traded for him. He was already hurt before we traded for him. Then he comes here trying to learn what we're asking him to learn, and coming off a hamstring injury. Come on, bro. Like for you to if you expect Marshawn Lattimore to come in here last year and be a Pro Bowl player, then the Washington fans who expected that, you're stupid, because that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? But this season, him having a full off season, healthy, ready to roll, now my expectations have risen for Lattimore to where he should be right at his level where he belongs. Then we added a Trey Amos, probably the best press man corner in this draft. Cornerback out of Ole Miss. Drafted him 6'2", fast, press man corner. So now we got Amos, now we got Lattimore, now we got Mikey Sanders still in the nickel. All right? Got a really good young safety in Quan Martin. Added another good safety in Will Harris, the box safety. Match up on them tight ends and running backs. And come down and lay the lumber. So still got Bobby Wagner, who's a veteran leader. He was a Pro Bowl player last year. He was an All-Pro last year. And we signed a lot of big guys up front. Javon Kinlaw, Dietrich Wise at the defensive end, Eddie Goldman to go plug that run up in the middle. I'm telling y'all, the franchise made the correct moves yet again. The same way they did last offseason and hit on every single person that they brought in here, they did it again. Everybody that they brought in here, whether it's free agency, trade, draft, they're all going to work. Trust me, they're all going to work. You know why? Because we don't do things without a plan anymore. That's what we used to do, and it used to drive me absolutely insane because I knew they don't even know what the hell they doing. They don't even know why they just signed this guy. They just signed him just to sign him. But see, now we don't move like that. We don't move like that no more. Trust me, I know. We don't move like that no more. Everything we do is very strategic. We're bringing in these guys for a reason. All right? You don't have to believe me. That's perfectly fine. But the one thing that you do believe is what you saw last year, and that was us in the NFC Championship. You can't make that shit up. We can't just say, oh, we ended up in the NFC Championship, and everybody said, no, you didn't. I watched it, cuz. You wasn't in no NFC Championship game. Oh, no, you saw that. You saw us lose, but you saw it, though. You saw it. You saw us go on the road and win 2 playoff games on the road. A rookie quarterback winning 2 playoff games on the road? It's NFL quarterbacks that just this past season finally got wins on the road in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes just got his because they've always been the number 1 seed. They haven't had to play on the road in the playoffs. Everything usually has to go through the Chiefs. They finally had to do that last season. My man did that in 1 year. 1 year, 2 dubs on the road, beat the Bucks, go to Detroit, the number 1 seed in the NFC. You can say what you want about the injuries and all of that. Nobody gives a shit because everybody has injuries at that point. Nobody cares, bro. So we were supposed to line up. We were supposed to go to Detroit. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, let's flip the coin toss. Oh, damn, y'all ain't got such and such. Well, I guess we just won't play today. Y'all got it. That's what we supposed to do? We supposed to go in there, lose, forfeit the game, not play the game. So who cares? Like, was Gibbs missing on offense? Was St. Brown missing on offense? Was Williams missing on offense? Was Goff missing on offense? Was Penny Sewell missing, one of the best left tackles in football? Was he missing? Was the center that they just had, was he missing? The center that just retired on him, all-pro center, he was playing. He was there. He was in the NFC Championship game. I mean, excuse me. He was in that playoff game that we beat them. Who from their offense was missing? When I just told you we didn't even have a great defense. So who from their offense was missing that they couldn't just run it up on us? Oh, that's right. That's right. Because we had a pick six by my young and Quan Martin. Oh, that's right. Because we were on Jared Goff's ass. Oh, that's right. Because we made him fumble. Oh, that's right. Because we made him throw another pick later on. Oh, and then meanwhile, while all this is happening, Jaden Dales is looking like a seasoned vet on the road and killing Detroit. And what are we doing? Going for it on fourth down like we always do. Y'all ain't never seen no team that go for it as much as we did on fourth down and be successful. You ain't seen it. You ain't seen it. It was historic stuff that was happening, bro. Historic stuff. You ain't seen no fourth quarter team like us. You ain't seen no fourth down team like us that just go for it every time. You ain't seen that. So I'm trying to tell you, bro. We on the up and up. We got a lot of things going on right now, and the sky's the limit for us. The sky's the limit for us. We'll be back. We'll be back in that tournament after the regular season is over, and then everybody knows in the tournament, it's one game. It's one game, and anything can happen. Anything can happen besides the Cowboys actually winning the playoff game. Yeah, not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end the show here tonight. I appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate any viewers, and hit that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. I'm gonna come back. And each episode, like I said, y'all, each episode, I'm just gonna continue to get better and better and better with the support of y'all. I can't do it without y'all. I need y'all to help me out and support. Share the stream. Share the videos. Anybody who loves the Commanders, this is gonna be a really good show for you. You'll get a kick out of this. And like I said, anybody that hates the Commanders, you can come here and get your hate on. You can come here and get your hate on, and we'll go back and forth, and we'll have that dialogue with the chat, like my brother decided to do tonight. And I'll shut you down just like I shut him down. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. And if you didn't join tonight, make sure you catch the next one. Make sure you click on the YouTube channel and watch this full vid if you didn't get to be on here tonight. I'm gonna add another video to the channel with my brother calling in on the guest line, so y'all will be able to catch that too. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share that video as well. But I thank y'all for supporting me. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the love. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I've been wrapping y'all up for about close to an hour now. We'll get into some other topics next time. I did want to touch on the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff, so I will touch base on that on the next episode. But yeah, shout out to y'all for being great. Shout out to y'all for stopping through. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Love y'all. Salute, Brody. We out of here. It be hard too. One of these times I might just start hitting y'all with the bars. You know what I mean? I might have to. Nah, it's cool though. I'll holler at y'all next time, man. Till then, be safe. Peace, love, and happiness.